Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is an offering of the Compliance Podcast Network. December 24th, 2018, the Christmas Eve edition. Have you ever thought about a tough project? How about recreating Ernest Shackleton's adventures in the Antarctic? Well, they provide some great leadership lessons, and the Financial Times details Tim Jarvis, who pulled off such a trip. He said the expedition taught him how to set a positive example, how to recognize which buttons to press to get people to apply themselves, and how to deal with multidimensional challenges. Think about that on Christmas Eve. As the news about the Goldman Sachs role in 1MDB continues to garner much publicity, the story of Tim Leissner has receded into the background. Well, the Financial Times takes care of that by taking a look at the banker at the heart of the 1MDB scandal, Mr. Leissner, in today's Big Read column. It's really an excellent article about Leissner, his interactions with J. Lo, and how I'm not quite sure you could say he lost his way, because his way was pretty much ordained by his entire business acumen and activity. Why and how Goldman Sachs allowed him to circumvent and override internal controls is going to be another question which they're going to have to answer. But it's an excellent summary of the Tim Leissner role in the 1MDB scandal. Next, a story by Rana Forhuar. I'm sure I butchered that name. An op-ed piece in the Financial Times business section where she talked about the tech sector putting growth over corporate governance. The business model so far, she writes, has allowed them to avoid national control concerns and, of course, taxes. But tech groups were run by generational leaders that came of age in the 80s and 90s after many business schools began emphasizing the importance of shareholder value. And what does globalization, particularly political globalization and how it's overtaken economic globalization, mean for those companies? It's an excellent set of questions. She, of course, has no real answers, but that's not the point. The point is to raise the questions. I hope you'll consider this op-ed and what it might mean for corporate governance for your company. And finally, we consider today's On Management column from Andrew Hill, entitled, "Is It Time to Kiss Goodbye to Cheek Greetings?" In the era of Me Too, many people are looking at the power dynamics in male-female relationships in the office place, and the cheek-to-cheek greeting actually falls into that because while sometimes it's appropriate and sometimes welcome, it has also been used by many males, businessmen, to provide unwarranted touching to women, whether it's rubbing the back of the neck, petting on the head, grabbing on the back, or something else. So perhaps it's time to practice your firm handshake going forward. We will be off tomorrow, so Merry Christmas to all. I previously indicated I've decided to move forward with the Daily Compliance News into 2019 each day. If there's a different format or different information distribution that you would like, please give me a shout and let me know. tfox@tfoxlaw.com. Also, I hope you will check out some of the new offerings on the Compliance Podcast Network. Jay Rosen and myself have started a new podcast series, Popcorn and Compliance, a look at compliance through the lens of the movies, that premiered Saturday, December 8th, and will post bi-monthly on Saturday for your entertainment and enjoyment listening pleasure. Finally, Mary Shirley and Lisa Fine have premiered their new podcast, Great Women on Compliance. I hope you will check that out. It's a great podcast series. We have several other offerings that we are in production and will go live after the first of the year on the Compliance Podcast Network.